Hi everyone, welcome back to the Tea Library. It's been a while since I have done one of these videos, and in that time, I painted myself a brand new mug. Today's book is The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. I started reading this book about 4 days ago, and yesterday I was like a third of the way through it, and then sat down and read the rest of it in one sitting. So that should maybe give you a hint as to my feelings towards this book. I adored it. So really quickly, The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue is about this guy called Monty, a nickname for his last name Montague. His first name is Henry, and he has a lot of feelings about his name, hence probably why he goes by Monty. This story is about Monty going on his grand tour of Europe with his best friend Percy and his younger sister Felicity. And on the way, like all good rambunctious 18-year-olds, they get into some adventures and end up going to some places that they really weren't supposed to go to, and also do some things that they were really supposed to not do. Part of what drew me to The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue is the fact that I saw it in a queer bookstore about 2 years ago. There is a certain amount of LGBTQ2+ content, and by a certain amount I mean there's a lot of it, and I love it. I'm here for this. I also adore that it is a period piece. So this is set in the early 18th century. So you get period, you get queerness. It's hilarious, yet also really serious at the same time. And Monty's arc as a character, I don't even know how to describe it. He just has a really good character arc, and you can see his development progressing throughout the book. It's not just like you see Monty at the beginning of the book, and then when you come back to him at the end of the book, you know, he's grown up and come of age and he's so much better. You get to see this slow progression of like him getting a little bit better than he was, but still not great, and like those baby steps where you fall down a little bit, then take another few steps and fall down a bit, and it's so heartwarming. And by the end of the book, no, he's not perfect. He's a lot better. Some great features of Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue are the queerness of it, the attacks on racism and privilege, and I'm here for this. It's a great social justice book. It also handles sexism, there's pirates, and it's just really fantastically well written. Mackenzie Lee is the author, and she might be added to my list of authors who I would read their shopping list of. She writes so well that I love it. Like, her writing and the story kept me hooked so much that I didn't want this to be like the book that I read a couple chapters of every night before bed. I sat down and I read it all, and would do that again happily. One of my other favorite parts of the book is right at the end. She has a few pages of author's notes where she goes through and explains some of the things in the book, like the concept of the grand tour, and how race comes into play in her book and in European history, and how queer culture was relevant in the history and in her book. And so in these author notes, she goes over the history of the era she was writing about, and also some of the creative liberties she took. I wish I could keep this book, but I borrowed it from the library, so I have to return it. But this is definitely a book that I will be looking to purchase in the future. because I would happily read this again and again and again. It has a sequel. The sequel is The Lady's Guide to Piracy and Petticoats, and I am so looking forward to reading that one. That is coming into the library very soon for me, so perhaps I'll do a review of that when it comes in. I gave The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue 5 stars on Goodreads. I think if I could, I would have rated it at 4.5 because it was a fairly easy read. There was nothing overly complex about the writing, and so that's where that whole 0.5 would drop away. But I think it is absolutely worthy of a 5-star review. And I hope you go read it. It's a great book, and like I said, I adored it. Mackenzie Lee is amazing, and I will definitely be reading more of her works in the future. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my well, it's not really brand new. I was going to say brand new. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my newish mug. And I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.